Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review. This time, I build the Volkswagen T1 Samba bus. Join me, won't you? Welcome back. I just received Pack 3 from DeAgostini Collections, and in Pack 3, got 5 more stages, stages 8 through 12. And these are fantastic and really very easy to build. Small magazine for each stage, easy to follow. The instructions are fantastic. They also include a diagram. I also received a free gift from DeAgostini Collections, and that's these very nice lithographs. I mean, these are fantastic. Take them out here real quick. You know, you do receive free gifts with your subscription, and they'll vary. So head over to DeAgostini Collections and check out what is available to you when you do sign up for this subscription. I do know they have specials going on. If you sign up using PayPal, you get extra gifts there too. But anyway, these lithographs are super cool, and they're suitable for framing. So here's the first one, and that's just gorgeous. That's beautiful there. I mean, it's very, very heavy-duty paper and high quality here. The next one, which is probably my favorite, this one here, that's fantastic. Wow, very nice. And the third one is that right there. I love the color of that bust there too. All right, so like I said, I did put a promo code and a link down below. Please use that link because that lets DeAgostini know that you saw my video and you definitely want to subscribe to this, and they'll set you up with everything you need to subscribe. And as far as the gifts go, they may vary. They may be different for you when you go to sign up. So without further ado, let's get started. Here's all the parts that are included with Pack 3, and in Pack 3 we received stages 8 through 12. The parts that came with 8 is the right front seat back, stage 9, right front wheel parts, stage 10, right front door, stage 11, right front door window, and stage 12, right front door interior panels. Also, if you want to skip through the video and go to specific stages, I put timestamps in the description below. In Stage 8 magazine, they give us a really nice section in the magazine which gives us notes and tips on assembling the Samba bus. And first thing they show us are the screwdrivers. Now, as you know, if you've been following my builds, I use these Wera screwdrivers for my builds. They have a real long handle. I can easily grip them, and the sizes range from a PH1, which is the largest, to a PHO, medium size, and a small PHOO. I also bought a stubby screwdriver, and this is a number 1 screwdriver, and this is to get into tight places. And they also talk about knives and cutters, and I just use a standard X-Acto blade for this. Also in the magazine is another article, The Screws of the Samba, and this explains the fundamental elements of assembling the van. So they talk about the meaning and references, and you can go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to read this. And a little more here. Screws that are designed for metal, which end in a D for die cast. And then screws that are designed for plastic. You can see the threads are a little bit larger, and those are designed for plastic, the BP as in plastic. And then they talk about screws with the metal washer, and those would be a DB also, so those will also be going into metal. So here's our instructions for assembling the right front back seat. These are the parts that were included. And this time we're just going to put 2 halves together. And that will complete the build. Let's get started. And here's stage 8 parts. This is the right front seat back. I'll go ahead and take these out and we'll get a closer look. Here's both those parts. Here's the seat back, which is made of plastic. Has a very nice finish on the back, just like a real bus would have. Two-tone paint, a light gray and a dark gray. And then here's the seat bottom cushion, and that's very nice there too. It is rubbery. It does push down a little bit, and that is great. So for this stage, all we do is we put these two halves together, and we need to situate it like that. And we're just going to snap it together in this case. Wider goes on the bottom, and it's just going to snap in. And that looks good there. Very nice. All right, that's all we do with this stage. Let's go to stage 9. And for stage 9, we'll be completing the right front wheel assembly, and these are all the parts that are included. The brake drum hub and chrome hubcap. I love the assembly diagram that they give you with this also. That's very cool. And we begin by assembling the drum onto the front wheel from the previous pack that we assembled the wheel and tire. That's how that looks. Then we start working on the front spindle and the backing plate for the front brake. That's how that looks assembled. And that's going to go right behind the wheel and tire. I'm going to screw that down. Lastly, put the hubcap on. And that completes our instructions. Let's get the parts out and let's begin. And here's our parts for stage 9. And like I was saying, this is completing the right front wheel assembly. Let me take these out and we'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Like I said, we received the front spindle, and that's made of metal. And the brake drum itself, that's plastic. It's very nice. The backing plate for the brake assembly, which, you know, that's houses your brake shoes. And then very nice chrome hubcap, VW chrome hubcap. And lastly, the DB01 screws. Remember, they always give you a spare, so you want to hold it in a safe area. Let's get started. So the first thing we do is we put our drum on the back of the wheel. We received this wheel and tire. Remember, we assembled that in issue 7. So on the back, you'll notice there's alignment tabs. One is larger than the other. Same thing with the drum. We'll line that up, and that will just fall in place just like that. Next, we'll bring over to our spindle and our backing plate for the drum, and that will simply line up. Same thing, has an alignment pin on this end, and you have a notch on top. We're going to line that up just like that. That's how that looks. Now we're going to go ahead and put this in place, and that goes just like that. And that was real easy, just to make sure everything stays engaged like we had it before. Turn it over, and we're going to go ahead and put DB01 screw into this. But first I'm going to go ahead and lubricate it. Lubricate the hole. And you can see the DB01 screw has a flange on it, and that goes just like that. And it's tight. Looks great. And lastly, go ahead and put our hubcap on. That should just snap in. It's actually it's magnetized. That's pretty cool. There's a magnet there on the inside. You can just see it. And perfect. And that looks great. That's fantastic. And everything rotates just fine. Let's go to stage 10. Welcome back. Here's the instructions for stage 10. Here we're going to go ahead and assemble the right front door, and had fun doing that before, so this is going to be very similar to our left door that we just did. Here's all the parts that are included. Here's the diagram for doing that. First thing, we'll install the front hinge, just like we did before. Then we'll put on the door handle. We'll tape that down temporarily. We'll slot in our little pin that holds the door handle in place. We'll install the backing plate on that holds the pin in place. Now our door handle does move. It actuates the door. That's pretty cool. So we're going to put our spring on our lock mechanism. And that's how that looks when it's installed on the door. We'll secure that lock mechanism down with the bracket there. And we'll be complete with the door in this stage. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. And here's our parts pack for stage 10. Like I said, this is the right front door. I'll go ahead and take these out. We'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of all those parts. Once again, the right door is very nice. Nice finish on it. Fantastic. The hinge, door handle, and the latch mechanism for the door handle. BD03 screws. The first step is to install the hinge on the door. And I'm going to go ahead and flip that over. I put a nice soft cloth down to protect the paint finish. And the hinge only goes on one way. We want the hinge to go kind of downward motion where it's sticking out on the outer part of the door. And a BD03 screw goes into this. And the last one. There we go. That looks good there. That's how that door hinge should look. Next, we'll go ahead and put the door handle into the door. That's going to slide in just like that. And we'll take some tape and we'll tape it down temporarily. That's how that looks. Turn it over. And we're going to put our pin in. That's going to hold it in place. Yeah, push that in place there. Locks down on there. And this lines up on an alignment pin, just like that. Once again, a BD03 screw holds this down. That's good there. Next, we put our latch mechanism, locking spring, into the rod here. And that's going to slide in through the door fixture, just like that. We want to move the spring out of the way. I'm pushing back on it. And we're going to lock that down. BD03 screw goes into this. And that's locked down, so that should work. We'll take our tape off. And that actuates that door. Good. Very nice. That's all we do with that stage. Let's head over and do stage 11. Stage 11, we'll build the right front door window. And here's all the parts that are included with that. And here's the nice diagram. We'll begin by installing the hinge on the upper window section. 2 screws hold that in place. It's going into plastic, so we don't have to lubricate that. Then we'll install a very nice trim panel. And that should just snap right in place. Then we'll install the upper window onto the door, 4 screws. And that will be it for this stage. So let me get the parts out and I'll be right back. Here's how the parts look for stage 11. I'll go ahead and take these out. We'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts and very nice window assembly. That's very cool there. And like we said, these windows do slide open and close along with the vent window. Very nice. So it looks like on that side. Very nice trim piece. I love the the red trim between the chrome, made of plastic also. And we received the hinge, which is metal, BPO3 and BDO3. First thing we do is install the hinge onto this, and here's our metal hinge. We'll turn this over, and we're going to put it on just like that. BPO3 screws. Be careful not to over tighten them, but that looks great. And that's how that hinge looks. Now we'll install our trim piece, and you want to have it match up the curvature just like that. And this should just snap right in place. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very nice. That's how that looks there. Here's our door. We'll turn this over. We're going to put 4 screws in on top. So we'll go ahead and line the door up. 4 points. Just like that. BDO3 screws go into this. And the last one. Yeah, that looks great. And that's all we do with stage 11. Looks fantastic. Let's do the final stage for pack 3, and that's stage 12. Welcome back to stage 12. This is the final stage for pack 3. Here's the parts that are included. It's a very nice diagram that goes along with that. First thing we do is we install the upper trim panel. 2 screws hold that in place. That's what it should look like when we're done with that. Next we'll install that on the door itself. Should snap down on top of the door. Make sure there's no gaps. 4 screws are used to hold that in. Then they show us how we can operational check the door handle mechanism, make sure it moves freely. So let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 12. I'll go ahead and take these out. We'll get a closer look. And here's a close-up of those parts. We have the trim panel, that's made of plastic. And the lower door panel, also made of plastic. The screws are DBO3 and DPO3. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do, we're going to install this trim panel on the door panel. Flip this over, and it just slots right in. 2 screws will hold this in place. BPO3s. That's good there. And that's how that looks. Now I'll bring the door over. We're going to put this down onto the door. It should just snap down on top of it. Everything should line up. There we go. 4 screws go into this. I already lubricated the holes because we're going into metal. One there. These are BDO3 screws. That's good. That's how that looks. Fantastic. Make sure my door handle works, which it does. Perfect. And that's all we do for stage 12. We assembled the door all the way. It looks great. I'll be right back. And that completes pack 3, where we assembled the right front wheel and tire, and that's fully assembled there. That looks fantastic. I love it. And the right front door, we completed that. That looks great. And we also completed the seat back for the right side. That's great. Okay, I'll be right back. And there you have it. That completes pack 3 of the DeAgostini Collections T1 Samba bus. Fantastic build. I'm having a blast building this. Everything is really easy to do. The instructions are very simple to follow. The magazines are fantastic. They have some great articles in them about the bus. And if you haven't done so already, head over to DeAgostini Collections and subscribe to this. I put a promo code and a link down below. Click on that link. It lets DeAgostini know that you watched my video and that you enjoy watching my builds. It helps me out and it helps them out also. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put comments down below, and I enjoy reading your comments, and I'll answer any of the questions that you may have about this. It's a fantastic build. This has been built over in Europe, of course, from the very beginning, and now we're getting it here in the US. I would like to thank everybody who subscribes to my channel, and if you don't subscribe, reach down there and hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell for all video upload notifications. Thank you all again, and stay tuned for Pack 4. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.